Today on the show, we'll talk front row challenge and Kyle Larson's dominance, but then things will take a strange and winding turn. We're going down a rabbit hole today that involves a sprint car aerodynamics piece, Larson, Paul Silva, Rico Abreu, and Ricky Warner. Let's get weird. It's Tuesday, August 5th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is DIRTRACKR Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. Today's daily show is being supported by our friends at American Table and the P.O. Box, two unique dining experiences not far from Knoxville Raceway. Knoxville Nationals Week is here. Prelim nights start tomorrow. When you're in the area for the races and you want something good to eat, check out American Table and the P.O. Box. Some of my friends have already been there this week, including MRN's Steve Post. Perfect for the postman to hit up a restaurant in an old post office. American Table and the P.O. Box proudly supports the racing community, and their historic location in Oskaloosa, Iowa offers two dining options under one roof. Inside, you'll find an elevated experience upstairs with American Table featuring a great menu and Sunday brunch. That brunch would be good next Sunday right after the Nationals. Downstairs, you got the P.O. Box open Monday through Saturday, serving up crave-worthy comfort food, cold drinks, and a cozy vibe. Whether you're refueling after the races or grabbing a bite before heading to the track, they've got a spot for you. Find them at 206 North Market Street in Oskaloosa, Iowa, and visit them online at AmericanTableRestaurant.com. Terry McCarl's Front Row Challenge went down at the Southern Iowa Speedway last night in Oskaloosa, and as expected, 26 cars signed in for the 21,000 to win show. They also had 19 305 sprint cars for the undercard. Corey Day and Kerry Matson on the front row for the main event after the foot race on the front stretch. Instead of running a dash or a pole shuffle, this foot race has become a bit of a tradition the last several years at Oski. I don't think I want to see this happen everywhere, but it's a fun event-specific wrinkle for this race. Another thing that's become a tradition is Kyle Larson winning this event. Coming into last night, he'd won 3 of the last 4, and after a brief battle with Corey Day before halfway, he made it 4 out of the last 5. On a restart following a spin for Anthony Macri, the 6th starting Larson pounced, throwing a slider from Des Moines on the 14 BC machine, literally one of the biggest sends you will see, and he cleared it pretty easily. Day battled back, but Larson eventually came out on top and drove away to a 3-second margin of victory. Day settled for second with James McFadden going 10th to 3rd, Buddy Kofoid 11th to 4th. Ryan Timms was hard charger going 16th to 5th. Young Money now with 5 total wins in the event and podium finishes in 9 of the 11 races he's run. This Knoxville Nationals week starting very similarly to last year with Larson topping Day at the Front Row Challenge. Now the focus will turn towards Knoxville to see if he can pick up his 4th career Nationals and 3rd in a row. The only drivers to win 3 or more Nationals in a row are Steve Kinser and Donnie Schatz. Kinser had 2 stretches of 3 in a row and a string of 5 straight Nationals wins. Schatz went 4 in a row from 2006 to 2009, and then did 5 in a row from 2011 to 2015. If you're curious as well, Lee Goose Jr. won last night's 305 main event. He went 6 to the win over Trevor Service and Jeff Wilkie. No sprint car action today around Knoxville, but if you want to see some racing in the area, there is outlaw kart action at English Creek. That track is about 15 minutes south of the big track. All right. Moving into the meat of today's episode, I'm about to take you guys on a serious journey because we've been down a rabbit hole here all morning in the palatial DIRTRACKR studios. Some of you out there, they're going to make fun of me for what I'm about to dig into, but just know I don't care. Your comments are going to go completely ignored today. For the rest of you, let's go. So it's been almost exactly 1 year ago today that we did the daily show about Paul Silva using the turned up exhaust headers on Larson's sprint car. Today is obviously August 5th, and that show came out on August 6th, 2024. Those headers showed up at a time where Larson went on an insane run where he won both nights at Peevely, one from 12th, one from an insane 21st, then the Front Row Challenge, followed by his Nationals prelim night, then the Nationals, and then a high-limit show at Tulare. That sighting and subsequent run of success really set off one of my favorite dirt racing hobbies, which is trying to figure out what Silva is doing next. He's already this elusive figure that refuses to do interviews. I've done a show talking about how even people around him won't talk about him, but I think he's one of the most interesting characters in the sport. I like that he pushes boundaries, especially at a time where so many sprint cars are just nearly identical. Besides the headers, we've also talked at length about the silver qualifying wing, him trying extra aero bits at Knoxville only to have officials tell him no, and we've seen other oddities on the car. Whenever we talk about these types of things on the show, people love to comment that everything is just a distraction from what these crew chiefs are really doing, the things you can't see. I'm sure that's true to a point, but some of the stuff you can see also likely makes a difference. And this very long-winded introduction brings me to today, and me initially thinking I'd found something new he was doing yet again. But what I've discovered is the idea was someone else's, and it's been around for 3 years, but we'll get back to that in a bit. Last night at Oskaloosa, I noticed something odd about the right side bodywork on the 57. My friend Paul Arch posted a shot to his USA Sprint account on X of Larson during qualifying, and strangely, you can see daylight through the right side arm guard. I got the red arrow, if you're watching this, kind of pointed towards that area. I couldn't tell if I was seeing things or maybe it was a weird shadow, but I watched qualifying on Flow Racing. There's definitely something there. It wasn't on the car for hot laps, and it was gone after qualifying. I shot Paul Arch a message this morning asking about it, and he sent me another shot of the car as Larson was rolling off the track from qualifying. And you can see what very clearly appears to be a vent in that arm guard. With the driver in the car for such a short period of time for qualifying, I have a hard time believing this is for cooling. This has to be something Silva is doing for aero effect. And initially, my thought was this was Silva trying something at a one-off, unsanctioned race, but to my surprise, this wasn't the first time this vent has been on the car. And I feel a bit stupid having not noticed it previously, but it's been used on and off for most of this season. It wasn't on the car way back at Volusia, but it appears as though it first was there at Las Vegas in March. There are tracks where it hasn't been used, like Attica, Q-Sits, Eagle, but a lot of other races it's been in place. It would be hard to spot, though, because it's on the car for such a short period of time. Early in the day, when the car is sitting in the pit area, the normal arm guard is installed, and then the vented piece goes then away after qualifying. So most of the videos and photos we'd have, you wouldn't see it. And for it to be in photos, the shooters would have to be outside the track to catch the right side. I sent a few messages out to some friends in the pit area to ask about the piece, and one replied, quote, "Oh yeah, gotta keep up with Rico." It didn't dawn on me at first, but as I started writing all of this, it hit me. Has Rico been doing this also? And this is where the rabbit hole really started to get deep. Digging into photos, I've got shots in my archive of this same vent on Rico's car at Eldora, Butler, and Ransomville from this year. So then I hit the streaming services and started going through qualifying of older races. It's on Rico's car for a lot of 2025 shows. What about 2024? Yeah, it's there too. I went all the way back to the beginning of 2023 to what feels like, I think, the origination point. Devil's Bowl Speedway in late March. Late in 2022, it's not on the car at Eldora or the Grove or World Finals. Rico started the 2023 season at Lincoln with the Outlaws. He then went to Talladega and Magnolia still with the series, and the piece wasn't there. But in qualifying on March 31st, there it is, that right side arm guard vent. This wasn't a Paul Silva idea. This was a Ricky Warner idea. By that point, Warner and Rico had been together for a full season. 2022 was solid, 6 wins in 66 races, but 2023 was a breakout year and the start of what's been a very good stretch for the 2024. 13 wins in 71 races that season and over $500,000 in earnings. Rico's qualifying average in 2022 was 11.3. For 2023, though, it dropped all the way to 7.14. And do I think all of that can be equated to one tiny vent piece on an arm guard? Absolutely not. But it must not hurt, especially knowing they're still using it in 2025, and now they've got Paul Silva on the plan. And you know what? Others have tried it too. It looks like Tanner Thorson has used it, Jimmy Light had it on his car at Eldora, Tanner Holmes in the Tarleton car, and even Donnie Schatz. I was told those that believe in it think it might be worth 1/10 a lap, and if you look at time trials last night at Oski, Larson was nearly 2/10 clear of the field. Obviously not a magic bullet, but likely not nothing either. Thanks for coming along on this journey with me. In other Monday action, Matt Williamson was a short track Super Series winner at Can-Am Speedway. He led 28 of 51 laps and had a massive, nearly 7-second margin of victory at the end over Tim Fuller. It's definitely domination for money, Matt. With Stewart freezing out, Matt Shepard now takes over the North Region Championship lead. He was 5th last night. That means the 9S now sits atop both Short Track Super Series championships at the moment. Action today shifts over to Mohawk International Raceway for a 10,000 to win show if you would like to check some more modified racing out this week. That's the Daily for today. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube or the podcast places and follow on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, X, whatever, for more dirt racing content. Hope you guys have a great Tuesday out there. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.